You go with the same rotation as the first game, other than Daniel is back?
Yeah, Daniel's back, so it changes it a little bit, but it'll be pretty similar.
What can he add?
Shooting, he adds our ability to get up the floor quickly because he does get ahead of the ball and he can finish in transition. He gives us a veteran player who has experience and kind of knows situations as they come along. And he's a positive guy. Like, he's a plus as far as culture and all of those things. So that's what he brings.
Coach, what have you seen from this Oklahoma City Thunder team that from last year they have a lot of guys coming back from last year, but they're really young just as well like you are?
Yeah, they're young. They have quality guard play. They can get the ball into the paint. They drive the ball very well. They drive and kick. They can play big. They can play small. And SGA is he's a really good basketball player. Like, he can draw the second defender and make plays, but he can also drive the ball into the paint, and his shooting is improving. So he's a handful, and they're a handful as a team because you can always count on them playing hard.
Coach, what was the message that you gave to the team after the season of the loss that this team sustained?
I kept it short and sweet. I didn't want to overreact at all to game one for a team that has just kind of been put together. So I said, we have some work to do, and we'll do it, and we'll watch the film and get better from it. But I wasn't going to at all overreact to game one of this season, because we know there's going to be ups and downs. We know there's a lot of tension that comes with game one. And, you know, I wouldn't say deer in headlights, but when you're first out there, there's a lot to it. And I'm very understanding of that as based on my experience, but also not going to overreact to that at all.
Coach, after last game, you talked about how the team didn't come out with the physicality and energy that they needed to from the start, but you saw it more in the second half. Is there a sense that this team understands what they need to do to come out with that out of the gates?
I hope so. I mean, we'll see tonight, but that's one of the things I've been preaching to the team, as far as we have to be on our energy every night. And I wouldn't necessarily ascribe our energy to lack of want to have energy. It was just like, this is the first game of the season and we're on the road, and there's so many other factors that kind of go into it. So I wouldn't necessarily say it was a lack of energy because we were a low energy team. Is based on other factors, I believe.
Coach, speaking of energy, some of those guys that got to play at the end, in middle to the end of the fourth quarter, they brought a lot of energy to the court, like they were doing in the preseason. Could we see more of them in the rotation?
So yeah, it's possible. It's possible for sure. I mean, those guys are playing hard every time they're on the floor, and we need to be a play hard team. So yeah, it's a possibility.
Do you have any Zoom questions?
Zach Allen.
Hey, Coach. Will we see what else do you want to see for Alphonse Sengun tonight, Coach?
I just want him to play and continue to be productive inside and out. Continue to make plays from the top of the floor. Continue to make plays from the elbow. And his defense has been better than expected. I mean, he's in his pick and roll coverages. He's early on his calls. He's affecting the basketball. He's in the right rotations and that sort of thing. I just want that to continue. But, you know, I'm not going to put a whole bunch of pressure on these guys. I'm just not. I'm not going to demand that Alpy or Jalen or Josh or Scoot or anybody has to produce. You know, we just have to get better. And we have to play hard and all of that. And that's going to be my message. But as far as looking for certain things from night to night, I'm not going to put that pressure on this group. I'm just not.
Adam Spelling.
Hey, Stephen, of the stuff that you guys didn't do well the other night, how much of that can be corrected by, one practice and one film session? And how much of it is just kind of, this is a really young team and we're just going to have to deal with some of this stuff?
Yeah, so we didn't have the practice, which is unfortunate due to the flight and all of that stuff and getting in super late. And most everybody didn't go to sleep until 6 a.m. after the Minnesota game. So we weren't able to have the practice. But we did have a good shoot around today. We watched film of the Minnesota game as well as some OKC film. And yeah, we're ready to play. It's the last game was turnovers that led to their fast breaks and offensive rebounds that they got, and they only had one offensive rebound in the second half. So fixing those two things shouldn't be too big of a problem, but you know, every game has its challenges and is different, and we need to learn. And the way that I framed the Minnesota film today to the group was, these are things that'll help us tonight. And these are things that we're going to learn from the Minnesota game, take into the OKC game so we can be better.
Crystal Saltis.
Hello, Coach. Hope you're doing well. What would you like to see your players to improve, especially on their defensive effort? Is about the intention? Is about the approach? What would you like to see to improve since the game against Minnesota?
Yeah, I want us to play more free. I want us to be more active and into our coverages and understand that this opportunity tonight is what they've all been waiting for, to play in this arena in front of a packed house and have a bunch of people screaming and yelling for the Rockets. So as far as expectations defensively and coverages and all that stuff, I get it. I get the newness, and I get the excitement, and I get all of that. So I'm not gonna, like I said before, I'm not gonna like be so caught up in the small picture that I don't understand the big picture with this group. And yes, defensively, we need to play better, and we need to get back in transition, and we need to make sure that we're not turning the ball over as much, so we don't have to worry about the transition as much. But if we play hard, if we are playing together as a group, then I am more than happy, and the details and all of that stuff will be a big part of it. But I'm not gonna take away the excitement of this moment and the joy that these guys have playing basketball by getting into the minute details of every little thing.